But today I'm going to take advantage of Isaiah instead. Year B has particularly beautiful readings of Isaiah during Advent. And I just love this one in particular. Comfort, O comfort my people, says your God. Speak tenderly to Jerusalem and cry to her that she has served her term, that her penalty is paid, that she has received from the Lord's hand double for all her sins. Well, the interesting thing about that is that, first of all, the Christians used to call this, though I haven't heard it recently, but so farther back in time, Christians called this the fifth gospel. So I'm preaching from the gospel after all. And the really miraculous kind of wonderful thing about Isaiah saying, comfort, comfort my people, is that the people of Israel and of Judah have just gone into exile. They have just been moved to the Babylonian captivity. So it's interesting to me that verses 1 through 29 of Isaiah, called First Isaiah, because this book of prophecy was written over time, and there are different voices to it, but the first voice is telling what is to come. But I don't know who the second Isaiah was, but I'm so grateful for him, or her. We never know, really. But to have offered that kind of comfort in the middle of probably the worst time of people's lives up until then. And I thought how appropriate it is for our own time, is it not? There is so much sorrow, so much violence, so much death, so many terrible things happening in this world. And we, as the people of God, need to sing that song of comfort, comfort, ye my people. And there's a particular connection that I have to that. There's a hymn in our hymnal where we really sing this text. But I want to say a little word about the music of it. And I need to the music of it. The music came from the 16th century, and the words come from the 17th century, although the English translation is in the 19th century. But the gigue was a dance of France during those early centuries, and it wasn't originated. The line really comes from the jig in Britain, but it has its own character that I think is so compatible with the lesson from Isaiah, all of that hope and comfort. Actually, the Christians had a second name for it. It was the gospel of consolation. And that sense of consolation in the midst of really terrible suffering. And has in the French gigue, it has an expression in a way, because a gigue is joyful. I mean, it's a dance, right? So, but its rhythm is different from the British jig. And it doesn't go smoothly from one thing to another. It has a hitch. Comfort, comfort ye my people. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, ba. So it's almost like it starts and it stops. There's a little stop. That rhythm is a little difficult. It's a little off key. And I can't help feeling that that's what Isaiah, well, if he could have written the music, that he would have written that, because it's how we move forward with hope and with faith, that we move forward trusting in God, and then the bumps come because we are up against reality, and we're up against reality that we can't control. And so that impetus from God to say, comfort, I have comfort for you. Yes, I know you just went into exile, but I'm here. And that's why also there really is a connection to Christianity. You know, I don't believe in prototypes where people say, well, this is a prototype of that. But you know, in the lesson from Peter where it talks about, you know, God's time is different from ours. And I think there actually was a connection, not in a literal kind of way, but it comes through Jesus, because I think this was his favorite book. And one of the reasons is that righteousness in Isaiah is not because of the covenant that Israel has made with God, but because of the holiness of God. It's subtle, you know, but if we listen for it, it's there. And so I think it also applies to us, doesn't it? You know, I've been working for the, some of you who are here this morning there's the vestry here this morning who know that I've been working with them, but I want to let you know that we've been working together, and we're going to work together some more and look forward, and you know, this isn't, I mean, we can't compare the difficulties we have to the terrible things that are going on in this world. But there are two things about it for us as a congregation. First of all, that we have to recognize our own struggles and not get overwhelmed by them. You know, stewardship is coming up. That's a toughie, right? And, you know, but so we'll have that little hitch. We're up against stewardship. And here, comfort, comfort ye my people. And then the other part of it is that the larger picture of why we do all these things that are so hard, and I am really amazed at how hard people work, both in the church for the good of the church and also out in the world. But I think part of why we do it, and what we have to keep before us, is the larger picture of how can we bring comfort to God's people. And that's what this gathering, we nourish, this is where we get the strength, right? We get it in community, we get it in sacrament, we get it in word. So, at the end, we will be singing, comfort, comfort ye my people. And I hope we can all think of it in the deeper sense that Isaiah has left us with. And then, you'll have to excuse me for a little aside, but that wonderful reading ends with he will feed his flock like a shepherd. He will gather the lambs in his arms and carry them in his bosom and gently lead the mother sheep. I can't help thinking I'm one of those. The mother sheep and the flock. But anyway, but that's just an aside. But I think it isn't really aside. I think that I'm among you to help you and to care for you, but we're all following Christ together, you know, and that's what we have to keep before us, that can lead us into the world to comfort God's people as best we can. Amen. If you continue now with the prayers of the people? Or do you have a moment of quiet?
Yeah, and then with Nicene Creed and